station. This is your radio salvation. Go, 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 go.
When Red Shane East ended the longest All-Star game on record with a homer, they gave it all to the National League. When he grew up, he would hit 7 feet. He would also become one of the highest scoring players in basketball history.
Someone who knows Sasha very, very well. The man, the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch and Sasha now. Penalty flag on the play. Pass is caught. That's Ingold, the fullback, for the touchdown, but a flag is down.
Absolutely fantastic.
Rebound. Oh! Did you see that? One of the saves of the year from Marc-Andre Fleury.
And welcome to another edition of Power Play Sports Collectibles Podcast. I am Aaron Phillips. We are live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. And contrary to belief that all entertainment is pretty much shutting down here, rest assured, Power Play Sports Collectibles and all the shows here on GoLive.Vegas are here for your entertainment enjoyment. Of course, this show is anchored and hosted and co-hosted. I'm just riding along in the sidecar. Mr. Scott Hosey, how are you, sir?
Doing fine. How about you this week? It's been a downer week.
Yes, it has. It's been a downer week all across the board. I almost got to a point where I was afraid of opening up my phone's news feed to see what was next, in the words of Bill Goldberg. Who's next?
As we talked before we came on the air, I'm reading my emails, and it's this restaurant, this business,
right,
and how we're keeping the areas clean. It's like, what did you do before? Did you not keep the areas clean? Come on, people.
Exactly. If we just did what we should be doing from a common courtesy thing, we'd be okay. And stop stealing toilet paper. That's all I can say. Share your story, because our nation needs to hear the ridiculousness of this thing continuing to go in the past.
Well, basically, I went grocery shopping the other day and happened to be bumping into our producer there at that same grocery station, nameless,
Right.
But walking
Somebody's
out.
sons, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's sons.
Walking out, I see a elderly lady, gray hair, pushing her
How
cart.
old, if you elderly?
I would say probably late 70s, early 80s at best.
Okay.
Pushing her groceries out, and a young man ran up, and I thought for sure the purse was gone.
Sure.
No, took the big pack of toilet paper and jetted. And I'm not going to chase somebody for toilet paper. If it was a purse, I would have.
Sure.
I went over and helped her. She was in tears. Obviously, the young man or lady who's collecting the carts went in and told the store manager. He came out with a pack of toilet paper and gave it to her, which I thought was great on their part. But it's you and I have had this conversation on our other show on how good Las Vegas people are. Well, you're disappointing me, to be honest with you. From some of the things I'm seeing in the grocery stores, it is just stop, people, please. We are a good nation. We're not a third world country. Stop.
I can't agree with you more. I mean, it's very, very, very sickening not only to see what's going on here, because as we've talked about how our community usually comes together, but panic or media-induced panic.
Oh, and the expressions you hear on this show are of mine, and it's my show, my opinion. Right. And if Aaron wants to share them, that's fine. But it's my show, so I'm the one that's going to take the heat.
Well, but I agree with you. I mean, it's. And we are part of the media.
Correct.
And although we are a small part of it, we're still talking about, but I think you and I are talking about it on the side that I think more people need to hear from, and that is take a breath. More people are dying from the common flu, and measles even killed more people. You were sharing those stats.
Last night about 10:30, I'm getting ready for bed, and I started to look at the CDC. Because first of all, let's do a quick statement. 22 people in Las Vegas, per the media here, and Fox 5, which I usually love Fox 5 because they do heartwarming stories, and I love the anchors there. But they came out with an announcement that 22 people have coronavirus, but one's been tested confirmed. Did you understand that last statement? Is it 1 or is it 22? Get the news straight.
Right.
I'm tired of the news and the media putting their political spins or their agendas on, who they're selling advertising to. 22 people have been contracted with coronavirus in Las Vegas, 1 confirmed.
Right.
That makes no sense. Try any English major, whatever you want to do. It doesn't make sense.
They had a bad PR person write their script.
Beyond.
All right. I want you, everybody out there right now, to jot down our studio line, 702-660-7666. That's 702-660-7666. We do have a trivia question that Scott's going to ask right now to give us more time.
Absolutely.
And they get the $25 gift certificate.
No.
We got a no gift certificate this week.
No, actually, they're going to get a gift certificate
Okay.
and a special item.
Oh, and a special item.
So the trivia question this year, because of the
This
stoppage
week.
in play.
This week, not this year.
Yeah, well, it might be this year for the.
No. We are going to be here. Even if I have to remote in, I'm doing shows, doggone it.
What 2 years was the Major League Baseball season canceled, both World Series?
Okay.
And who had the best records? You don't have to really come up with the records, but I went on who had the best record.
Right.
Would have been the champions if you ended the season.
Right.
So what 2 years? And I'll give you a hint. They both ended in 4. And what 2 years?
That's
so you're going to
true.
get a
Holy
$25
cow.
gift certificate.
And oh my good, no, let's get to the wide shot. Oh my goodness, a roll, but it's unwrapped though.
But it's still sealed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't break the seal.
It's in mint condition.
It's in mint condition. Oh my goodness.
Trouble is, they might want that more than $25 gift certificate.
Right? You probably be better off stocking toilet paper in your store as well. $25 gift certificate for toilet paper. What 2 years was the Major League Baseball season canceled? Both were included in the World Series that year. And who had the best record? We just want to know at least what 2 years.
Yeah, just
and then
part
we'll
of
have
that.
fun with the rest of it.
Absolutely.
So 702-660-7666. That's 702-660-7666. Phone lines are now open. Now, as much as I was hoping that we could kind of sidestep the coronavirus conversation, we
If
have to.
ESPN can't do it, we can.
I know. Well, I put a post up. Usually, my morning routine is. Why don't you? Yeah, put it up there on the computer top. There you go. Let's keep it in view when we have to.
It's an apple, so you got toilet paper and an apple.
Oh my goodness gracious! Oh my goodness!
I hate Apple.
So I was watching ESPN the other morning, which I usually do because I don't really watch the world news. I just listen for a couple. I realize I'm watching ESPN and I'm saying, why am I watching ESPN? There's no sports.
True.
So what is ESPN going to do other than continue to cover the news and the effects of the virus on the sports world?
Kind of all they have right now.
Right.
Obviously, UFC is going to run some stuff.
Right.
WWE ran their SmackDown show last night.
Which we'll talk more about on Wednesday night. But
yeah, but Fox needs to give them a refund or vice versa.
Something.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Something.
But let's talk a little bit about ESPN. First of all,
Sure.
I'm not a big Stephen A. Smith fan.
I am not either.
Yeah, his screaming and yelling just gets to me. But First Take was on yesterday, and I was watching that because there was nothing else on that time of the morning.
Right.
And they're talking about Rudy Gobert.
Yep. The Utah Jazz center.
Who did an unfortunate thing. He's first of all, he's the one that tested positive.
And we found out a second player from the Jazz also.
And basically, prior to him testing positive and feeling, bad, he was joking around and touched a bunch of microphones and things like that.
In the press room, I saw that.
Yeah, and it was everybody laughed, everybody had fun with it. Well, unfortunately, he came out tested positive
shortly after. Right.
Unfortunately, it happened. Mm-hmm. He made a mistake.
Right.
It was in good humor.
Right.
Stephen A. Smith backed him up, and I give Stephen A. give you credit. Max Kellerman, shut the F up. Because honestly, I used to like Max Kellerman, but his opinion of he should be prosecuted, blah, 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 blah.
What?
I'm like, are you kidding me? He made a mistake. Max, if you can Monday morning quarterback everything in the world, go down to the sports book right now and bet that the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl last year, because that's what you've done to your media credentials to me.
Oh, my
You have
gosh.
thrown them in the toilet.
Yeah.
And I give Stephen A. Smith all the credit in the world. He backed up Rudy Gobert and basically said, look, he apologized. He feels horrible. They put the tweet apology, all that up. And Max was just like flies on what. So we don't get.
As you're, and I agree with you. And then one of his teammates got it, and then the referee who ref that game then appeared at a game the next night, and they were wondering why he was there. Anyway, just the dominoes fell. I want to give a shout out. This is how important this is, and because my dad is a big collectible.
Absolutely.
My dad is actually watching right now, and or listening.
Hi, Aaron's dad. I think my dad's watching on our YouTube channel.
Yes, hi,
so.
dads.
Yeah,
Great for
dads,
watching.
Dads are watching because there's no sports.
There's nothing else on. I know, right? 702-660-7666 is our number. Now, here, Major League Baseball got criticized for being one of the last organizations for doing something. Hockey, NHL, the one that hurts the most, I think, across the. Are we having a windstorm here in the middle of the studio?
Are we having a coronavirus?
I don't know. We're.
Is that our ghost?
Yes, there were 2 EVPs, electronic voice phenomenons, that were captured in our studio over the week, so that could have been. We'll have to play that back later. Yes. Anyway, the NCAA men's basketball, all the tournaments, men's and women's and all that, but the men's really hurts in a lot of ways. I mean, for the teams and the emotional impact for the participants, for the players.
Right.
That's the one that first they were going to play the games with nobody in attendance, which would have been interesting because we know a lot of these teams draw off the emotion of the audience. But to me, the NCAA men's tournament, I think, is the biggest blow of them all. Your thoughts on that?
Well, the NC2A needs to step up and shut up because they never do anything right, and they need to do something right this time. And I'm being very opinionated today, obviously.
That's okay.
But Coach Kay Oriema from Connecticut, and then Calipari from Kentucky. There's a shout out to my family through the marriage.
There you go.
All came out and said, give them 1 year eligibility.
Right, extend their eligibility.
And suck it up and basically give them more scholarships for next year and deal with it,
We have a caller.
Yeah, sure.
We have a caller on the line. Thank you for calling Power Play Sports Collectibles. Who's this, please?
This is Scott's dad. How are you?
Hey, Scott's dad.
Wow.
I'll let you.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Scotty. How you doing, buddy?
Scotty,
the question you asked, I think, was 1994.
1994. You got one of them, and you get more than $25 at my store, Dad.
Give the $25 to Tabitha.
There you go.
1989 is when they stopped it because of the World Series.
Right. Very true.
Where are you watching or listening right now?
In my Florida room.
Oh, in where?
Panama City Beach, Florida.
Panama City Beach, Florida.
I can visit more often, more comfortably than when he lived north of Detroit, especially during the winter.
So how are you? Are you watching us? How are you watching us or listening to us?
I'm watching you on my little LG phone 8.
Oh, very good.
I thought they still had the flip phones.
By the way, yes.
It's not as good as an Apple, but it does the job.
Your son said, oh my goodness. Your son said before we went on the air that you still have an old flip phone, so I think you just surprised him.
I wish I still had that.
I got to tell you, my dad, if he's still listening, my dad had the old flip phone until this last upgrade because he's now.
They don't work anymore.
Yeah. I've actually moved on a little bit now. I've got an Android.
Oh, there you go. I welcome my dad to the 21st century when he got his upgraded phone. So, very cool. Listen, thank you so much for checking in. You want to have a conversation with your dad? We'll just close our ears.
Dad, love you and Ann,
buddy.
and I'll talk to you soon.
Love you guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Thank you. All right. Very cool. From Florida, Panama City, Florida, which is the site of many WCW pay-per-views.
Or the hurricane 2 years ago.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Thank you. That was really cool. All right. My dad now, if he's listening,
has to call.
Better even it up. Although he's at work, so.
Okay.
But he's got moments in between. 702-660-7666.
So people have the answer. Next caller to call in
Claims it.
But
give us the other year.
Yeah, give us the other year. The first year that the World Series was canceled.
Yeah, first year. All right.
Because it wasn't 1994. That was the second time.
That's correct.
I don't think any of us were around for the first one.
No, I don't think so. I'd hate to be shoeless at that time, but all right. What? All right. Why don't
If
we
we keep going, we will be.
Why don't we step aside for a quick message from Matt Hardy?
Absolutely.
And we'll talk about his signing. He's still coming in.
So don't forget, tomorrow, well, actually tonight over at ToyCon. ToyCon is giving us some tickets for our other show.
Yes.
So ToyCon is still going on local here in Las Vegas. It's at the Eastside Cannery. You can meet a whole bunch of celebrities, movie, sports, wrestling. Lots of toys. There was a Baby Yoda there.
I figured.
It's there no longer. It's in my living room.
I figured that too.
But ToyCon over at Eastside Cannery. Tonight they will have pro wrestling at the Eastside Cannery with Tessa Blanchard, Chris Bay.
Okay.
Tomorrow FSW over at Samstown. And prior to that, I've got Brian Pillman and Matt Hardy signing autographs.
Brian Pillman Jr.
Brian Pillman Jr. and Matt Hardy signing autographs at Power Play Sports Collectibles in the Boulevard Mall from 12 to 2. It is still going on, so people, come on out and enjoy it. And Matt, tell us what you think about coming out to Las Vegas.
We'll be right back.
I am very excited to announce that Matt Hardy is going to be returning to one of his favorite cities in the world, and that is Las Vegas, Nevada. This Sunday, March the 15th, I'm going to be returning to FSW, Future Stars of Wrestling. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with FSW, it's an amazing regional promotion, one that a few years back I competed at very regularly, and I was actually the FSW heavyweight champion for a period of time. This Sunday, I'm going to be doing all kinds of stuff in Las Vegas, so make sure to catch me if I'm there. It's going to be a very, very special day this Sunday, March 15th. At 12 o'clock until 2 p.m., I'm going to be doing a very special signing and meet and greet at Power Play Sports Cards in the Boulevard Mall. Make sure you catch me because this thing's going to be a madhouse. It's going to sell out. And then I'm going to head over to the FSW Arena, and I am going to be partaking and participating in their huge event, Mecca 6. And I'm actually going to go to the ring. I'm going to be in the ring in front of the live audience, and I'm going to talk about my future in the professional wrestling industry. This Sunday, I'm going to be at Power Play Sports Cards, and I am going to be appearing at Mecca 6. Do not miss it. Matt Hardy is coming to Vegas.
All right. We are back. Thank you, Matt Hardy. That was great to see you. As Scott said, we'll be at the Power Play Sports Collectibles located at
The Boulevard Mall.
There you go. Tomorrow from 12 to 2 with the Brian Pillman Jr. and it will appearing at FSW.
Absolutely. And we were talking a little bit before about the NC2A.
Yes.
The NC2A, I think, really needs to step up and give these college athletes that did not finish their season another year of eligibility.
I agree.
Because, that's why you play the games. That's why you're there. They will never, ever, ever get to experience that again.
I feel my heart is broken for the player. I think his last name is Winston from Michigan State, whose brother died right before the start of the basketball season. Yeah. And Michigan State was expected to go far.
Yep.
And now he doesn't have that opportunity. I agree. Extend eligibility. All right.
We've got a ghost in the.
I'm telling you.
Yes, exactly.
Excuse me, but.
Long-term effects.
Sounds like our
the doors are opening in this place.
I feel like I'm in a submarine.
For people who wonder why we just stop all of a sudden, there's another show that's aired here
called After Dark Tuesdays,
and it talks about like ghosts, and ever since then there's been like strange things happening here, and I'm wondering why. What did I do wrong?
We're hearing sounds in our headsets
you might hear them over the air. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know if they're going out over the air, but go to my Facebook page, Aaron Phillips. And you will hear at the end of a recorded segment that we did last week as I was signing off, you will hear what is called an EVP, an electronic voice phenomenon, that with all the mics were off, everything was down, I was in here nowhere near the desk. For about 3 to 5 seconds, you will hear a voice that got picked up on its own. And then during the week, they captured a German one overnight in this studio just for the heck of it.
You do realize that that noise, it happens whenever you start to speak.
Yes, confirming the hot air that comes out.
Exactly.
All right, so let's transition a little bit now back into the collectibles stuff.
Sure.
Before we get into specific stuff, how will all of this coronavirus cancellations of all of these events hurt, or I don't want to say help, how will it affect the collectibles market?
It's going to kill it.
Okay.
I'm just going to be honest. Long-term effects, when for instance, 1994, nobody cared about those cards from that year for baseball
Okay.
because it didn't happen. There was no champion. They came out with the awards. I think Greg Maddux won the Cy Young, which is no surprise that time during those years. But it's not gonna be good. And I don't understand why the panic, but sports collectibles is tertiary dollars. It's extras, it's fun. People are now buying toilet paper, bottled water. And by the way, don't people have like filters in their fridge? They're buying all this stuff up. I mean, I went to the grocery store. I bought a few extra things, but I didn't go like hog wild and carts of toilet paper and canned goods and MREs and things like that.
MREs?
The military.
Thank you. I just want, not everybody may know what MREs are. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I guess not. But
Yes.
it's just going to have a long-term effect. And the other thing here in Las Vegas, they're already laying off casino workers.
Yeah.
And last week during our wrestling show, I mentioned it, and some people didn't believe it, but our producer. But I'm sitting there going, Las Vegas is extra dollars. It's
Right.
tertiary dollars, fun money, and if you're getting laid off as a casino worker, first responsibility is put food and a roof over your head.
Absolutely.
And so they're not going to have money for sports collectibles.
And I'm glad you mentioned the roof over our head, because our local electrical company and gas company will not be doing the termination stuff. God
True.
forbid you can't pay. They're going to work with folks that way, and they will not turn off heat or electric
during this time.
During this time.
It's when you talk that EVP thing comes in our headsets. Yeah.
How's this back here? Jeez
Hey,
Louise.
we've got Robert Strauss watching, listening. Robbie E. in the wrestling world.
Right on.
Congratulations. He's down at the Performance Center, if I'm not mistaken, as one of the coaches. Obviously in front of an empty house, unfortunately.
Yeah, please reshare us. And by the way, the show that Scott keeps referring to, of course, is Thoughts Count Anywhere, right here every Wednesday night, 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific on Gold Live
Sure.
Vegas. Cheap plug.
Las Vegas, the NFL draft. We got that coming up.
Yes.
Everybody's like, oh, it's a month away. You forget it takes 2 weeks to build the stages.
Right.
Before that, the stuff has to be produced. So they have until Wednesday of next week.
Like signage.
Yeah, signage, it's just a poof, it's,
Right.
there. The companies that have to produce these signage, the carpets, have to be told ahead of time.
Right.
And so they need about 4 weeks, which is about next Wednesday.
Yeah.
So do I see the draft happening here? No. I honestly don't.
Which
Hurts Las Vegas even more.
Of course,
Yeah. And I'm not saying Las Vegas is special, but now it's attacking me. But maybe it's a Las Vegas ghost.
I don't
but,
could be.
But it has long-term effects on this unfortunate situation going on.
Absolutely. As a report I saw this morning on ESPN, the draft has not been canceled. They're supposedly moving forward, but Wednesday's a deadline not only for the draft. WrestleMania in Tampa
Yes.
is in trouble. Rumor has it that
Might be moved.
Will more than likely be moved
To
and
a
not
later
happening-
date.
To a later, not
Yeah.
canceled, postponed. So.
Well, there's
Take
a
a
different,
chill.
yeah, there's,
That's
yeah,
all I
exactly.
wanna say.
All these sports are saying postponed,
Right.
which I appreciate. The XFL said canceled.
They're canceled, yes. But they weren't a long season anyway.
No,
but
but
Vince
it still hurts them because they
Absolutely.
were actually having a great season.
Yeah, they were off
Ratings
to a good
there.
start, yeah.
The only cities that were really hurting for attendance was New York and LA.
which is interesting that the two biggest media markets would be in that position.
Well, LA has their own pro team. It's called the Trojans, and I'm a Rams fan. I'm sorry. They've had the Chargers, which nobody
Sure,
cares about.
sure.
But realistically, for some reason, football doesn't fly in LA.
Yeah.
Or New York. Well, look who they have too.
Well, yeah.
They're used to bad football.
Lately, yes, that would be the case. But unless you were in the green and white, that's been a little longer.
Yes.
But all right, so the XFL is gone, but Vince, or the powers that be behind the XFL, is allowing players who's under contract to the XFL
to try out.
to try out and participate and hook onto an NFL team without any backlash to those XFL players who are
Yeah.
under current contracts. So that's good there. Baseball's opening day is pushed back 2 weeks as of right now.
Right.
Golf, NASCAR, I find interesting that they canceled their stuff because after all,
You're
they
in a car
have
by yourself.
they have and you have no real contact with your spectators
True.
unless you're crashing a Tigers in the stands. But I mean, there's nothing there. So Formula One is canceled. All of that
Yeah.
stuff, So Yeah, it's quite interesting. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about some of the stuff you have regarding collectibles before we go
Sure.
back into cancellations. And
Exactly.
people want to know about collectibles. So what's going on in the collectibles market?
Let's see here. What do we have after 2.5 pages of downers, Debbie Downer here? 25 years ago this past week, Michael Jordan ended his brief baseball career and announced the return to the Bulls, where MJ batted a grand 202, 3 home runs, drove in 51 runs, stole 30 bases, made 11 errands for the Birmingham, I forget, Barons, I think it was. He appeared in a number of baseball cards in
Right.
the 1990 series. So, yeah, he was going back to the Bulls because he decided to, well, never mind, it was a suspension. And for those in the know...
It was a hidden suspension.
Yeah, it's a hidden suspension. You can't Pete Rose him because he was the greatest basketball player at all time at
Right.
that time and still playing.
Right.
Just found it interesting. He played in the White Sox organization real quick.
Owned by the same owner of the Bulls.
Yep. Let's slide him over there. But he went back to basketball this past week.
Did his baseball cards have any value?
Oh, they
at that
did
time?
until, Richard McWilliams, who's in jail. I think he's dead now. The owner of Upper Deck kept printing them after the fact, which is
Gotcha.
like printing money, which is
Right.
one of the reasons the card industry took a dump, I'm being honest. Me, Debbie Downer.
Well, no, but you mentioned that. We talked about
Yeah.
that in the past with other cards, with Kobe's card,
Yeah.
about how that was done and devalues it. So.
Exactly. When you print stuff you're printing money. You're trying to play off the kids liking of the player and things of the fans, and don't do it. You're licensed to print for that year for that many cards. Only print that many cards. So another thing, we got Charles Barkley, who supposedly is tested positive, whatever.
Who hasn't? Raise your hand.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to be, right?
Yeah. Charles Barkley is willing to sell his memorabilia to help fix up parts of Alabama and homes in that area. God bless him for doing that. I love hearing goodwill stories like that.
Well, and Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers, he's donating $100,000
To the arena
workers.
Zion
and other
Williams.
Yep. He did. How much did he donate? $1 million or
Yeah,
something?
I mean, people forget now that the arena workers aren't, a lot of people, those are retirees working part-time jobs to
Right.
supplement their incomes. Some, that's their real job.
Absolutely.
So I'm not saying, part-time, full-time, but some of these NBA baseball players, all sports players are stepping up, and God bless them for what they're doing.
Hey, we still have the trivia question up for grabs. Why don't you repeat the trivia question?
Sure, let me go to the first page because there's our EVP again. We have the trivia question. 2 years the World Series has been canceled.
Yes.
My dad came up with 1994, and there's one other year.
What
Ends in
was it?
4. I don't think any of us were around for that. I know I wasn't. But
You
tell
only
us
have, if it ends in 4, you only have a few options.
yeah, you have,
You have
less
1
than
through
10. Yeah.
Right, exactly. You have 0 through whatever.
You were around for that year, wasn't you?
Yeah,
Because your team actually would have been considered the winner.
no. That year?
Yeah. Well, maybe not.
No.
They moved to San Francisco. I'm sorry.
Whoa. That's not my team.
In baseball?
No, I'm a Yankee guy.
Oh, close enough.
Close enough. But this team originated in the same place my Yankees play. But
Absolutely.
anyway, yeah. So call in 702-660-7666, 702-666-7666. And when you go down to the store and cash in your certificate, Scott will be there handing you gloves, so don't worry about
The
it.
gloves and the toilet paper.
Anyway, yes, we have the
there.
toilet paper roll with your name on it.
All
All
right.
right.
Exactly. PSA.
Right.
Is continuing to do their paperless submissions. So from now on, when you send in your trading cards to get them authenticated or graded along with the memorabilia, that paper slip that I have plenty of them in the store for you is no longer going to be taken. And I don't blame them. My handwriting sucks. That's why
Okay.
everything's typed. In
In other words, the information
has
that
to be
I
done
would
online.
put in.
Yep.
Okay.
Done online and printed. So don't send anything to PSA and a handwritten submission. It will be rejected. Go online, download their form, and print it out. And,
Print it out so that form goes with the
Yeah.
item when you
Yep.
send it in. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And we'll continue with the scumbag alerts.
Uh-oh.
Yep. An Oregon man was faced with theft, and faces charges over phony autographed memorabilia. There's a shock.
Oh, my.
In Eugene, Oregon, Howard Garner, 62, sold items that said he belonged to his uncle. Well, they were actually signed by him.
Who was he trying to sell? What items did it say?
A bunch of bats is what but
With
just
signatures?
Mickey Mantle was one.
Oh.
It's just like please stop. people.
And unfortunately, I think we're going to see a rise in that kind of stuff with
We
people
talked about
losing
Kobe.
jobs.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know.
They're going to be doing that stuff. Kobe stuff. I mean, listen, obviously Kobe can't be signing anything anymore.
Right.
So be very careful on any signatures that you get of people that are no longer with us, and those are the ones that need to be authenticated. So, but I find that interesting. Every week we have a story about that.
Exactly. And then PhotoFile, one of the largest, or actually the only major photo printing company in the U.S. that printed, NBA, basketball,
Right.
All the major sports, including wrestling recently, it's closed its doors.
Not good.
About a year ago, Global Photos acquired the assets of PhotoFile and leadership of licensed sports photography back in October. Here's a familiar name for the Las Vegas people.
Okay.
What is our producer doing? Okay.
He's just adjusting.
Yeah, I thought he was coming over to smack me or something. Stuart Scheinman for the Las Vegas people. Smokey was part owner, and for those people, probably understand why their doors are shut now. Anyway, PhotoFile, about a year ago, I noticed just getting photos in my store was a challenge, and then also they were hand delivering them. So, the major plant back in New York had secretly closed its doors, and they were outsourcing the printing to local printers. And all of a sudden just closed its doors.
Not good.
And they owe a lot of people a lot of money.
Oh, my.
Yep, there's a shock. Now, Fanatics, for those in the sports collectibles world know who Fanatics is, has recently, this past week, obtained the NBA and NFL license. So if you need photos, you can go to Fanatics to get the licensed photos. I think they're working on NHL and NFL. Well, NFL. Well, anyway, they're working on the other sports right now.
They're working on those other guys.
So
now, Fanatics is also an apparel company.
It's an apparel
as well.
company.
And there's a store. They actually have a Fanatics store in town at the other mall.
Yeah, they have a number of stores in town. They also have a warehouse out in the north end of town.
Really?
And for some people, they refer to them as the evil empire. But well, they own pretty much everything. So there's a lot of jealousy there. But if they were able to do it, I mean, you would too. So
right.
They're going to have all the licenses, so your licensed photos can come from them in the future.
Right on.
I don't know about WWE, but my resources help me with that. So.
Well, I was going to say regarding WWE stuff, you just go down to Power Play Sports Collectibles.
We've got everything already.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't look anywhere else. Just go online, call, give your contact information for the store.
Sure. First of all, we're at the Boulevard Mall, right across from the pretzel place, near the Heads Up escape room place.
You had to mention the pretzel place.
Exactly. But yeah, we're on the entertainment side of the mall at the Boulevard Mall, newly developed, remodeled, and moving forward with a lot of good things for the family. So if you haven't been there in a while, come on down to the Boulevard, give them a shot.
Especially in this time, right?
Absolutely. Walk around, enjoy it, enjoy life. So also you can get a hold of us. Store phone number 702-482-7529, which is 482-PLAY.
Oh.
Yeah, real easy to remember. That's all you need to remember. And then also powerplaysportscards.com. We've got all the autographed collectibles we've had over the last 30 years on that site. Autographed photos, pro wrestling, pro baseball, you name it, it's on there. So go shop at any of those locations.
There you go.
For those, Zion Williams. Let's continue on with the news. Zion Williams. Well, they have signed an exclusive deal, so you can get a Zion Williams authenticated autograph, not just in the packs of cards now, but I'm assuming it's going to be on jerseys and 8x10s and everything, basketballs, through Fanatics. They are now definitely going to be the one-stop shop for the nationwide, major items.
Now, it's interesting we talk about Zion because we know this was his rookie year. He got a late start this year because of injury. Mm-hmm. But the games that he's played in, he has shown that the future is very bright for him. And if the NBA season is halted for any extended period of time to where perhaps they don't finish the regular season before they figure out a format for playoffs or whatever, similar to what they did with baseball way back, what is that going to hurt his rookie season for his collectibles, you think?
I don't think it's going to hurt Zion.
Okay.
Collectibles overall, yeah. But, going back to our first page here, that, what are the sports going to do? Is there going to be, a champion? Do they continue? In 1994, they just ended it.
Right.
There was no World Series. There was no World Series champion. The Montreal Expos had the best record in baseball that year.
I remember.
And Felipe Lou
they were barely over 500, but
yeah, they were barely over 500, 74 and 70. We've got a caller, or it's our ghost.
One or the other. Thank you for calling Power Play Sports Collectibles Podcast. Who is this, please?
It's Chris Olivard.
Oh.
That'd be 1904.
Woohoo!
Right on, Chris. You are the winner.
You were not born back then, I can tell.
No.
We never ask a lady their age or
Exactly,
insinuate what it is.
But Aaron was, so he
Right.
was actually selling programs at the game.
I documented it on chisel and stone.
Yes. So are you local here in Las Vegas?
I am.
Well, come on down to Power Play Sports Collectibles. Check in with whoever's at the counter at that time. It'll be myself or Linda or Leslie, Frank, Jason, the whole staff. Great staff, by the way. I love them all. And give them your name. And I forgot my pen. What is your name again?
Chris Olivars. Olivares.
Stop in. Give them your name. I have it here. You'll get $25 gift certificate, or what I should say is $25 free credit in the store.
Plus a roll of toilet paper.
Now that I'll come for.
Oh, see?
Thank you, Chris, for watching. We greatly appreciate you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Right
Thanks,
on.
Chris.
All right, very cool. So there you have it. 1904, 1994 were the 2 years.
Yeah, and the New York Giants, who were 106-47, which is an incredible
Great record at that time.
Yeah, who ended up being the,
World Series champs.
well, who did they become?
The Giants became the San Francisco
There you
Giants.
go. I thought that was easy.
Do you know the color combination where the New York Mets got their colors from?
From the yeah,
Giants.
and Dodgers.
There you go.
Yeah.
The orange and the blue comes from
Because
those
both teams vacated New York the same year.
That's
Everybody
right.
remembers the Brooklyn Dodgers leaving, but the
Right.
Giants left the same year, and actually before the Dodgers did.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Well, that's kind of like when Farrah passed. Everybody forgot she passed away because Michael Jackson's passing happened later on in the day, and all of a sudden everybody forgot about Farrah. I almost said because Farrah's story was buried, but that would not have been appropriate, would it? Anyway, that's the ghost. Anyway.
The ghost is talking.
702-660-7666. Just because our trivia question has been answered doesn't mean you can't call in and share your thoughts on anything, collectibles, sports, the coronavirus, whatever.
Wrestling, we talk it all.
Yeah, we talk it all there because down at the store, he's got it all, so we can cover all the sports and everything that is sports topical, sports related. We talked about Zion. You mentioned that, about his signatures now. How about the top stuff, the archived signatures?
2020 Topps Archive Signature Series Baseball Retired Players Edition.
That's a long
That's
title.
a long title to put on a pack of baseball cards.
It'll wrap around.
But it archives it. What it is, it's a series that mimics, instead of having a. We're tossing a pen around. You got coronavirus now.
I'm good. I'm good, thanks.
We've shared.
Only a pen, ladies
Yes.
and gentlemen.
But what archives does is it reflects on the history of trading cards and the design of the trading cards, like the 1971 Topps. And I'm being distracted.
No. Aaron is. Yes.
Oh yeah, that works.
Yeah, we have pictures.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
There we go.
Oh well, that's a later picture. We'll touch base on that because
Just
that's
keep going.
Yeah, that's an extreme find. But
We'll talk about that one.
the archive series is great because it has a lot of retired players, especially this one, and the signature series. Some of the players that are in the signature series are Hank Aaron
Yeah.
and Sandy Koufax, who in my opinion is not only the best pitcher, but probably the best living baseball player still.
I was on a sports show that I co-hosted, and we got into a debate. Sandy Koufax had, 162 wins total?
Right.
Something around there?
Yeah.
He's in the Hall of Fame. What made him that special?
So dominant for those years he played before injury. So dominant.
Which I find, and so how many years did he play?
Off the top of my head, I can't
Roughly.
tell you. Yeah.
10 years?
10 years.
Okay. I find it interesting because today's issue that people have with the Baseball Hall of Fame is people talking about longevity and did they play it long enough to get into the Hall of Fame
True.
and all that sort of stuff. I just find it ironic because there will never be another 300 win pitcher ever. I think at this point, Andy Pettit, I think, has the most
closest,
wins,
yeah.
like 260, not taking in his playoff record.
Right.
And how baseball has changed. So I kind of find it ironic that people today, when it comes to Hall of Fame voting, discuss length of time. Oh, he wasn't doing it long enough. He did it too long. He only has 5 years in.
I think a lot of that does with pitchers, and I agree with you, is the fact that, back in Koufax days, 50s and 60s, you pitched 9 innings.
10, 11, or 12 innings.
Yeah, they're Harvey Haddix, pitched 11 innings, perfect game, and lost.
Right.
You didn't have a bullpen with 7 or 8 guys there. Nowadays, if a pitcher goes more than 6 innings, he's an Iron Man.
Yeah, I was going to say he's like Superman.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. So you don't have that. So, I look at Koufax, great guy, great Hall of Fame career. I think he is.
I admire him because he would not pitch on Yom Kippur that one year
Sure.
as being Jewish, that he observed the faith and would not pitch on a day that Yom Kippur had fallen out on.
Exactly. You
don't see that much
you
today.
got to respect this. I think the last player that did that was Sean Green of the Dodgers.
I believe you're right. A couple of 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Highlight of my career working for the Las Vegas Stars here, which people don't remember. The Stars were
remember
the
the Stars.
51s.
Right.
Is working for the team, walking down in the visitors' dugout, and the traveling pitching coach for the Dodgers organization was Sandy Koufax.
Wow.
And he's sitting there just in the dugout. He was there. They had a young Danny Opperman, I think, was a young up-and-coming pitcher who played here in Las Vegas. He was giving them some pointers, both lefties. And Koufax is sitting there, and he's like, "You want to play some catch?"
With you? Yes, yes, please.
Yeah.
Like at the scene at the end of Field of Dreams,
exactly. It was a highlight of my career
Right on.
working there. They didn't have to pay me for that day.
Right.
And I got to chat with him,
There you go.
So not only him, but, people who know me, I was a huge Steve Garvey fan growing up. And, they were the Padres organization, being able to sit there and, chit-chat just
Right.
one-on-one and talk to them. It's
Right
just, it's awesome.
Hey, I want to let everybody know at 10 a.m. Pacific, right here on GoLive.Vegas, Our House, Our Voice Fancast, brought to you by the Fan Action Nation. Scott will be filling in for Andrew Coppell.
You're stuck with me.
The founder of the Fan Action Nation. You want to tune in because someone by the name of The Violator, if you are a Raiders fan, his name is Wayne Mabry. The Violator will be on live with us doing an interview from the fans' perspective about what it's like to lose your team and not have a voice in it.
Very true.
So I wanted to mention 10 a.m. You can hear us, of course, through our webpage. You can hear us on all the platforms that Go Live has to offer. I just want to mention that because you're going to be stuck with Scott and I for another hour.
You're here all day.
I'm here
with
till
other
I'm
shows,
moving
yeah.
in. I brought my suitcase in over here. I'm moving my mailing address here.
You do have a suitcase over
I
there.
do. I bring because I bring a wardrobe. For all the shows.
Do you have a makeup artist too?
Where's Triple H? Where's Triple H?
They haven't done their job this morning.
No, they have not. Obviously not. You can download the Go Live Vegas app to your phone. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, and of course, just look us up online. You'll find us wherever convenience. What's that saying that they say? Check for local listings. How's that?
There you go.
All right.
Let's continue on with
Yes.
finds. This is a good part of the hobby that I enjoy. North Carolina man finds a rare 1910
Was that the picture that Aaron put
Yeah,
up before?
actually, if you can bring that
Can you
picture
bring
up
that big
again.
picture up? That picture with all the multiple cards?
Yeah. I found a 1910 210
There you go.
Old Mill Shoeless Joe Jackson or Joe Jackson card. That, as you can see on the screen there was 640 cards.
Wow.
There's the Joe Jackson right there, graded a 3.5.
Out of what? What's the highest grade?
10. 10 is a
Okay.
grade, but for a card that's over 100 years old, come
Yeah.
on. It's amazing condition, and he is going to make a boatload of money. The find is probably worth $800,000, $900,000.
And that's only for a 3.5 condition card.
Well,
Imagine if it was
not
higher.
that card, but all the other cards you saw on the screen.
Oh, the whole package.
Absolutely. If you don't remember, baseball cards started in cigarette packs. They
Right.
were just stuck in cigarette packs,
Right.
and they evolved to baseball cards with bubble gum, and the kids were actually more interested in the bubble gum.
Right, that's right. When did it convert away from cigarette? Was it because they wanted to get the kids involved? And
Well, it was more of the stigma of smoking.
okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, it was-
So instead, we'll just give kids sugar-based gum and have them be diabetic 10 years later.
And I have recently seen a friend of mine who opened a pack of cards
No.
from the 70s.
No.
And the little piece of it was
The
still
little
there.
strip of gum, right?
Yeah, and it had just bled right into the cards, obviously.
Oh, no.
But he put it in his mouth, and it just gone. It was, whatever chemical that was. But Ben Foster is going to be doing quite well.
Good for him.
Because I guess he found these in his uncle's attic, and obviously they didn't come in the nice holders. And,
Right.
But he sent them in, and He's going to do wonders
Did
with
Power
that
Play
stuff.
Sports provide him with holders, by the way? I'm just curious.
No, but I provided you with
Yes.
holders because if you want your Aaron Phillips baseball card,
Oh, I should bring it in next week.
God
Aaron Phillips
help-
trading
God
card.
help
I'm going to bring it
us.
in next week. I want the PSA guy here. I'm going to sign it. I want it validated so I can get my $5 per card verified that I'm selling it.
it's called authenticated. Have I not taught you well?
I know.
Yeah,
Listen,
exactly.
if you go to my Aaron Phillips public figure page on Facebook, that is my profile picture, is my card.
You know, you do a
have a
sports
card.
collectibles, and I do not see a trading card in my portfolio.
When I offered, you laughed at me because you said I'd have to pay people to take it. So I can bring my headshots tomorrow and sign right next to Matt Hardy and Brian Pillman. I think I would do just as well as those guys in getting my signature out there.
For those who disagree with Aaron, raise your hand.
Even me.
Yeah.
But I'll bring some next week. I'll lay 'em in
Absolutely. Well,
front there.
let's show. And have you gotten your world championship belt yet?
Oh my God! I hope my wife's not watching. But I was chatting with the gentleman today, and it is currently on a shipment. That is
From China.
Here's one of the reasons why it's taking so long, because the parts that they use to put because every belt is handmade. That is ordered.
very
right?
true.
Whether it's a traditional replica belt that's out there or something customized, like I had done with my logo. And where do they get the parts? Where do they get the leather and everything? China.
I wasn't joking.
No, you weren't. So the parts are slow getting to the manufacturer, which of course the manufacturer and creator is overseas, whatever country they're in. They're in that Middle Eastern area, I think. So I spoke to the guy here today who is in the country. He's the middle guy that sells it. And he has confirmed with the producer, the manufacturer guy, that they have shipped. They are held up in port on the other side right now because they're just going through customs a little slower to make sure everything is fine. So I'm hoping to have it in my hand by the 31st of December, maybe.
If it comes bubble wrapped, don't pop the bubbles because
No,
the
it
air
could be
is from
something in
China.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, that is very true. So yeah, so I had a custom-made belt of my Aaron Phillips logo, and that, and then my side plates is just a character of a old standard Johnny Carson-like microphone with a headset hanging on it. That's my side plates. Very simple. Trust me, when I get it, I'm going to be walking into the
I
studio
asked,
wearing
has
it.
your belt shown up? And it took 4 minutes
That's
to
right.
say no.
Well, listen, if you can rant and rave about everything you want, I'm going to take
Exactly.
4 minutes to talk about my cards and belts.
Absolutely.
So.
And when you have that, we will have that in the
It'll
front.
be, trust
Absolutely.
me, every show I'm going to do, it's going to be on the
Yes.
front.
Are you going to defend that belt? Because in my opinion,
It's not a 24/7 belt. This is a one-time. I'm retiring with the belt. I'm retiring with the belt. There is no 24/7 chance. Who else is going to want an Aaron Phillips branded belt?
Johnny, our co-host.
No, Aaron Phillips belt.
Well,
It's true. He battled for a gold fanny pack, so that is very true. We have a very special picture that we want to put up here in honor of our special gift that we are giving away as part of our trivia question this week. So Aaron's going to pop that up here in a second.
These are the new Funko Pops that were just released this past week.
Just this week. So here's a very special one sponsored by Kleenex. We have the toilet tissue collection of the Funko Pops. I'm sure Johnny will be on that. What is the 01? Is that like one of one?
That's the number in the series.
That's the
Yes.
first. So these are first. I mean,
First editions.
Are they in your store yet? They're
I
cleaned
don't
up.
do,
I bet.
I don't think they're cleaned up very well.
That's right. But
Now-
Matt does over. Does he do?
Now,
would he
you do know this is a spoof.
I
I
know.
hope you do.
Of course I do.
And I hope
I'm
we
trying to
listen.
sell it. I'm
I
trying
know.
to sell it.
Go to Pop Shack over at the Boulevard Mall and
Ask
get
Matt.
ask Matt. He's also at Toy Shack or Toy Con
Right.
this weekend. Ask him if he has the Kleenex toilet tissue pop. He's going to be so mad at me because I keep walking in the store and going, "Do you have the Baby Yoda pop?" Well,
Now it doesn't matter. You got one.
yes, and he doesn't right now because somehow they leaked out. Do you have the picture of the Baby Yoda pop? It looks awful.
Oh yeah, he's dark, but that's okay. Is it glow in the dark?
It's not how I sent it, but the
That's
ghost,
the way it got picked up. Yeah, the ghost is playing with it.
Yeah, well,
There we go. Who else we got up there?
well, talking about pops, and
Yes.
because we are a collectible show, Pop Shack and all the toys, those little bobblehead creatures. These are some of the Target East Coast comic collectible con, whatever, shared exclusives. You have the Boba Fett, you have the Doctor Doom, and you have the Sean Kemp, which I laugh at.
Wait a minute, Sean Kemp?
Yes, because they can continue that series because he has 15 children. So they're going to have little pops. They can continue on. So it's online if you want to take a look at
Sometimes you just don't know.
It's the East Coast Comic Con 2020 shared retailers. So if you're
If
looking,
it's still going on.
yes, if it's still
Wherever
going
it is.
on,
Where's
yeah.
it going on back there? Do you know?
I think it's in Jersey.
My home state.
Exactly. And they call New York, New Jersey, New York, whatever.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Only to those who do not know.
Then why did the New York Nets play?
Now they're the Brooklyn Nets.
And then
They were the New Jersey Nets for a
Yes,
while.
Exactly, but who knows?
There's always an argument about the Giants, though.
and the Jets now because they play in New Jersey.
They play at MetLife Stadium. To me, they're still the New York Giants and the New York Jets. It's just their name. And I would be
What's a
uncomfortable.
border?
What's a border? No walls, though, on this border.
Exactly.
So,
There's our EVP again.
my God. Aaron, are any of these going out, or is it just in our headsets? We're in these. You know what it is? It's like an old DJ. You know, the ones that spin the wheel and the records?
Yeah.
That's what we're hearing in our headset periodically. So if you hear us pause for a second, we're like, okay, what's going on?
Exactly. Let's pause and basically say, tomorrow. Tomorrow over at the Boulevard Mall, Power Play Sports Collectibles, I've got Brian Pillman Jr., up and coming future star of wrestling, and
The
I've got
Brian Pillman.
I have got future Hall of Famer, and no one can deny
No.
that. Future Hall of Famer Matt Hardy, recently, just this past Monday, gone from WWE.
And was a guest on Thoughts
Yeah.
Count Anywhere this past week.
Came on, talked. We've got the commercial we aired earlier. He will be there tomorrow from 12 to 2 along with Brian,
Right.
signing autographs at Power Play Sports Collectibles. If you want to get your tickets, you can get them at the store at day of or today. If you don't want to beat the rush, get a lower number. And they're all-
Prices, pre-show, pre-signing.
basically, there are no pre-show prices. It's $60. You get the autograph and photo ops. And then also, they're available online at www.powerplaysportscards.com.
There you go. Also, April 25th, you have one coming up that's
Medusa.
been currently on our
Yep.
screen right now.
Yep, there it is on the front. There's our. Why is it? It's when you talk mostly. But yeah, Medusa, who's known as Alundra Blaze from WWE Hall of Fame. She will, in Monster Truck Series.
Yes.
She will be there signing autographs also.
I would love to know how she transitioned from the ring into monster trucks. I mean, what was her love for trucks that she can change right into?
We
that?
can ask her. She's going to come on the week prior.
Oh.
Yeah. She already said, agreed to come on the podcast.
Right
She
on.
loves social media, so she's going to come on and plug. We can have that be one of her questions. How do we?
I
how
think
did
that's,
you trans-
let's see, 25th, 24th. I think that's April 22nd would be that Wednesday.
if we're counting right. I can't think past tomorrow right now.
I know. Yeah, if we calculate right, April 22nd is the Wednesday before, 23, 20, yeah, it is the 22nd. On Thoughts Count Anywhere, that's cool, Medusa.
Something else in the news. Those for COMC,
COMC.
which is check out my cards. It's a website. It's what they do is they sell your sports trading cards. You send them in, they scan them, they do all their stuff, and they put them online. They have had some major changes. So if you're going to COMC in the future, you want to look in their website, check out their prices. I use them. A buddy of mine up in the Bay Area has been using them for years. One of their largest, retailers or.
And this is for reselling your cards.
Yeah, if you want to sell your cards, they do all the work, start to finish. That you send them your cards, they scan them, then you get a notification that they come online. You go in there, you price them, you make them live, and they're there for the world to see. Not only are they on their website, but they're also on eBay. Here's the catch: no longer on Amazon.
Right, I saw that.
So that hurts quite a bit because a lot of the country is now shopping on Amazon. About 60% of my sales from COMC, you can see where it's sold from, either eBay, their website, your website, or Amazon. Most 60% were hit. My buddy's sales were from Amazon,
Right.
and about 60% were from mine.
Jeez.
So that's going to hurt. Also, they changed their pricing structure. So you might want to look. I'm not discouraging you, but prices have gone up.
And so give the full website, comc.com.
Absolutely.
There you
Check
go.
out My Cards is the actual company name. Yep.
Check out my cards.
Exactly.
All right.
So we've talked about the Matt Hardy signing, which is tomorrow at the Boulevard Mall, Power
Yep.
Play Sports Collectibles.
12 to 1.
Yep.
2.
And
12 to 2.
12 to 2. And also, April 17th through 19th, I got my Sports Cards and
Oh,
Collectibles
yes.
show, and I brought the coffee cup for a reason today.
Aha.
As I have Jimmy King, formerly of the Michigan Fab Five. He's going to
Ooh.
come in and sign autographs. Last time we had Anderson Hunt from UNLV running Rebels,
Right
national
on.
championships. Fab Five never won a national championship, but they appeared at 2 NC2A finals. And that's why I have my Michigan Cup here, coffee
Yeah.
cup. But Jimmy King will be there. He played alongside Chris Webber, Jalen Rose. He'll be signing autographs on that Sunday on the 19th at
Right
the
on.
Boulevard Mall.
What time again?
He'll be there from about 12 to 2.
12 to 2.
Yeah, time scheduled change right now depending on his flight.
Right.
But I'm moving forward like nothing's happening because I am a positive person. I can't even say that straight.
Nah. Well, listen. You good. People are going to make of this whatever they want to.
Right.
I personally, listen, I'm living my life as normal as I can. Am I a little more cautious and hesitant in certain arenas?
Sure.
Possibly, more so than I think I ever really expected to. But I really believe within the next 30 to 60 days, this thing is going to be so under control that I think we're going to all be red-faced and embarrassed by how our country really overreacted to it. Now, people will say better safe than sorry, and I guess that there's truth to that. But at the same token, again, all the research you want to do, this is a flu plus pneumonia combination, which is
attacking you right now.
Which is stronger than the traditional flu. Children, apparently, from information that we received before we went on the air, according to Aaron, our producer, he read this on a medical report that kids are less susceptible to this because they actually have the stronger immune system being so young.
And being around a lot of stuff at school.
Absolutely.
Their immune system better. Now, I did some research, and we talked about this before the show. At 10:30 last night, I sent you a text.
Yes, you did.
Here are some facts from the CDC. So if you don't want to say it's me, go to the CDC website.
We'll give them credit.
Yes.
Footnote it.
Yeah. Estimated 12 million people each year contract tuberculosis.
TB.
Yeah, TB.
Which generally was a disease how long ago?
70s?
No, that was
60s,
wasn't
70s?
Tuberculosis big in like the Depression era as well, things like that? It's been around a while.
But right now, 12 million people a year. So that's far and above the numbers that coronavirus have.
Way more.
13% mortality rate.
Okay.
Coronavirus is what, point something?
Roughly.
Okay. Estimated 1 million people last year got the measles, which is supposed to be eradicated and all this, down. But 1 million people, 10% mortality rate.
Okay.
And I mean, seriously, let's look at the big picture. What makes coronavirus different than these other diseases? What makes it different than you walking outside and getting hit by a car? Live your life, people. Stop running and hiding. This is not like, back in the, dark ages. We're not a third world country.
No.
I am not discouraging or, downplaying coronavirus or anybody that
take
gets
precautions.
Take precautions. But realistically, don't, if you want to criticize me, go for it. I'll deal with it, but you're going to deal with me too. But realistically, death is death and illness is illness. As you're well aware, I missed a couple shows because I was down and out.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I feel for anybody, and anybody can die. Take life for what it is, but enjoy life. Stop hiding like right now. This is media driven.
Thank you, Krista. Appreciate your comments in the chat room, saying we have a great show today. We appreciate it. I think we're down to about maybe a minute or so.
Comic-Con? Go to Comic-Con?
Comic-Con, Toy-Con.
Toy-Con.
Eastside Cannery down on, why am I blanking on the street?
Boulder Highway.
Thank you, Boulder Highway. Go to the signings, get out, and enjoy. Those who are struggling because of job loss or being laid off, fortunately, the companies and organizations that are in this city are supporting their employees the best that they can. As I said earlier, such as the electric company and the gas company are supporting folks.
But you're going to find out who the good employers are.
Of course. And like you said, this is going to be worse than the 9/11 impact, but nonetheless, we will survive. Okay, that's the red light. Different on this show than it means on Wednesday night. It means it's time to wrap up. So, see us tomorrow at the signing. The final thoughts there.
Final thoughts. See you tomorrow at the signing. It's going on. If for some reason it's canceled, it will not be canceled by me. Let's say the airlines or Matt decides not to come. But right now, Matt, as of an hour ago, was still getting on the plane.
Right on.
Tomorrow morning. God bless him. He's a great guy. Come see Matt Hardy at the Boulevard Mall, Power Play Sports Collectibles, 12 to 2.
10 a.m. Hour from now, our voice, the fan cast. Scott and I will be back talking with the Violator, Wayne Mabry. Have a great week, everybody. From all of us here at Power Play Sports Collectibles, we'll see you next time right here. Have a great week.
Take care, guys.